Hey, this is Turk72, and in this little webinar, I'm going to go over what I feel is my opinion on what caused the 2008 economic crisis. Some people think that the subprime mortgage lending caused the economic crisis. Well, let's take a look at that. So, these are U.S. mortgage delinquency rates. And see, it goes through the years there. And you can see the delinquency rate during the peak of the crisis hovered between 10 and 15%. Okay, so here's the total value of these subprime mortgage originations, which, as you can see, at its peak exceeded $150 billion. So, do you really mean to tell me that 15% of $150 billion, which is what, 22%, $22 billion or so, totally tanked the U.S. economy? I don't think so. Some conservatives believe that maybe Barney Frank was behind the whole crash with his push for affordable housing and push for that everyone deserves a home. Well, Barney Frank might have caused significant damage to the housing market and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, but I don't think he caused the whole economy to collapse. I'm sorry, even though as much as I don't like him, it's kind of like saying that Boss Hogg is capable of becoming Hitler. No, he did not bring down the whole economy, in my opinion. So, now I'll go through what I think really brought down the economy. And this might piss off a lot of conservatives, but I don't care. They need to wake up. There was a law called the Glass-Steagall legislation, which was passed in 1933 in response to the Great Depression. So this is an act that separated commercial and investment banking. And so it stayed in place for a long time until there was an act called the Gramm-Leach-Bliley, or Billy Act, or whatever you expect. Anyway, you see it right there. The GLB Act of 1999, also known as the Financial Services Modernization Act. So this began to unravel the sweater of the Glass-Steagall and repeal. You see the repealed part of the Glass-Steagall Act. Okay? So it started removing the restrictions of commercial and investment banking. So, furthermore, the SEC, there was a petition led by Hank Paulson, the former Treasury Secretary, to change the amount of debt and securitization that the banks could own. And by this point, a lot of investment banks were merging with commercial banks and so forth. Everybody's becoming a broker, that kind of thing. So the lines were beginning to blur at this point. And now there was a further loosening of restrictions so that the debt level, people could make previously probably 1 to 12 or 1 to 13 bets on their assets, and now they are able to make 30 to 1 or more leverage bets. So imagine if you, this is from the New York Times, agency's 2004 rule lets banks pile up new debt. So imagine if you made a bet on the housing market, 30-1 bet, and then the housing market drops 3%. Well, you just lost 90% of your principal. Now, let's just say the housing market drops 30% instead of 3%, and, well, you get the idea. You're sunk. And so this is what happened. Again, the Gramm-Leach-Bailey Act. These people are, or Billy, whatever. These people are all Republicans. Hank Paulson, Republican. And George W. Bush, who presided over all this, did much nothing in the way of trying to stop this slide. So everyone, small banks, little banks, insurance companies, they're all doing this crazy betting. Again, the real estate market, 30% fluctuation is normal, which by definition would sink, everybody who does these 30-1 plus bets on the housing market. So they essentially bet that housing would never go down. And it was insane betting all over the place, which is why I don't believe in unfettered capitalism. I don't think people should make unrestricted, highly leveraged bets. And I don't think people should be able to trade, energy, 1,000 times a minute, because it's very disruptive on the economy. So, subprime lending did not crash the economy. It simply was not big enough to bring it down. There's a whole lot of other factors. So those are my opinions. Let me know what you think. This is Turk72 out, and wow, I explained this in all under 8 minutes. Alright, thanks for checking out Turk72.